Oh, green. It's the secret squirrels. This is the secret squirrels. Secret squirrels. We are part of Corsi Nation. I don't know for how long though. Doc will probably see that. You don't want no part of that bit. So, anyway, there's a cool little image I saw on Neon Revolt. I don't know if you guys see it watching the video, producing it. I like that picture. It's got whatever their Baphomet thing with Hillary Clinton face on it. So, zoom in. Okay. Anyway, I brainstorm, and we're a bunch of hooligans from the Corsi Nation website. We're trying to make things happen. Who's here tonight? Got Army Wife, Bandit,
yep.
And Dax. Army Wife, you want to say hey?
In the house.
In the house.
In the house.
Right.
Yo, Army Wife.
What's up, yo? So, yeah, I'm feeling a little weird because I took a nap and I feel refreshed, but yet a little bit out of sorts because I'm kind of still sleeping. So, good morning.
Coffee time.
Oh, I'm drinking coffee. I got my FOMO. If you guys don't know about the FOMO action, that is when you take hot cocoa mix and you put it in your coffee, put a little whipped cream on it, and you got a poor man's mocha. FOMO.
Yeah.
See? It's very tasty.
I did my husband's cappuccino with coffee a while ago. So got a lot of rain a while ago. Another flash flood.
You know, the trick on the coffee thing, though, use clean water, purified water, or whatever, run it through a filter.
Absolutely.
And then do the short shots on your Keurig. So instead of doing the big ones, do it short shot, because then you get all the caffeine comes in the first little bits. So 2 short shots instead of 1 long shot.
I used to have a Keurig, and I finally got rid of it. But actually, I had 2 of them. I gave them away, and I ordered the Ninja coffee station. And we're really tickled with that. It's done a really good job for us. It's got the little arm that whips out and blends your foo-foo lattes. So
Foo-foo lattes. Yeah.
Foo-foo lattes, and it's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. Kind of pop that little arm over there.
I have to admit, I really like the foo-foo lattes.
Yeah.
Because they're yummy.
I love foo-foo lattes.
They're yummy. I just don't like paying for them, so, do it at home.
Yeah.
So, with that, we're saying hey. Well, Jax still hasn't said hey because she's still groggy too. You take a nap too?
No, I didn't. I went to Costco.
Oh.
Important business?
Yeah, I was sick and tired of not having milk in the house.
Oh.
And I needed to get some foodstuffs because...
Well, can't you send your minions for that kind of thing?
My minions, for some reason, think it's great to drag me along.
Oh.
So,
That's not how this works. Minions, you're supposed to do stuff on her behalf so that she doesn't have to. That's the whole point of having minions.
Yeah, take your Mercedes and please go to Costco for Mom.
I was taken in a Mercedes to Costco, and they paid for the membership this year. So I'm happy with that because I don't have to do it. But I didn't get my Cheez-Its. And I didn't get... No, I know. Isn't that rude?
Those are like Scooby snacks for Jax.
That's right. And I didn't get any... I was going to get some Reese's peanut butter cups, but Costco was out. So, I know, right?
This is desperate times here.
I am. I may have to go to a regular store, and I'm not happy about that.
So Jax is
Make
grumpy.
them from scratch.
I'm groggy. But so, hey Bandit, how's your state of mind at the moment? How you feeling today?
Well, I just got done cleaning the downstairs bathroom, so I'm domesticated right now.
Properly brought to heel.
Times.
Okay, let's turn to the news.
Well, I want one of those. How do I get it domesticated?
Well,
this is a family show. We only get weird. We don't get
More than
dirty.
you're looking for.
Okay.
oh boy.
Oh boy. Spider. This is our artificial intelligence generating. It's the thing. It scoops up all the news from all the big news stories and tells us what everybody's talking about and ranks it accordingly. So actually, the main story is Florence. That's by far the main story. So let's go way back down to the lowest story. What do you say? What's the lowest ranked story? EU extends individual sanctions over grain crisis until March 2. U.S. F-22 fighter jets intercept Russian bombers near Alaska.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it was, especially if they're hiding it.
Yep.
It's going to be very interesting.
Well, then we got at least 11 die as driver plows into crowd in China.
Maybe it was somebody they were trying to take their Bibles from.
Yeah, or else it was someone with the last name of yeah.
Well, Weinstein caresses a woman in meeting hours before she says he raped her. Video showing Harvey Weinstein rope proposition. JP
Was
Morgan
Oprah
warns.
there?
What's it?
Was Oprah there?
Oh, she was probably
Probably.
making the introductions. JP Morgan warns Q3 revenue will be down from a year ago. This is where we wish that DC Hammer was here in the house because he could explain the economic side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Spain to honor sale of 400 bombs to Saudi Arabia despite halting it over rights group outcry.
I think that one that Chinese official says China is educating, not mistreating Muslims is interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got a Mother Jones. Mother Jones, come on. Are you kidding me? An alternate. Ish. Ish. Why? There's more Hurricane Florence. Budweiser cans water instead of. Well.
Every hurricane they do that.
Why don't they just send beer?
Well,
I mean, don't people need beer? I mean, do you still
because
need beer?
because the 6-year-olds might need some water.
Not run into a few legalities there.
It's people being all frou-frou even during the crisis time, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, back in the old days, everybody would drink beer, right? Or mead, was it?
Yeah,
Get a pint of mead. Hey, bar wench. Pint of mead.
I think that was your house alone.
Okay, so China official says China educating, not mistreating Muslims. So this is the dig into.
Are they educating or waterboarding?
Well,
tomato.
Just asking.
What is educating, actually?
Exactly.
Discipline.
My dad educated me a lot when I was younger. I is as smart as I am because of him.
You mean smart ass?
With the Board of Education?
The board,
yes.
Bank of England warns no deal Brexit would lead to chaos. Oh boy. Got some scaremongering.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Brexit already happened.
Well, it never was finalized.
Well, the vote went through, but they never actually disentangled them.
I think the prime minister put the kibosh on it at the last minute.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they went through with that.
No.
Oh,
she put the kibosh on it, and like the UK is livid, to put it mildly.
Well, you think this is a democracy? This is no democracy.
Exactly.
Right. They voted
they
voted for Brexit, and then their leaders won't follow through, and it was real brouhaha.
That would almost be like us having President Clinton right now.
Yeah.
Or Obama.
Yeah. You should get Nigel on one day and he's a hoot.
That's true. That would be great to get Nigel on. Nigel Farage.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd like that one.
I'd like to hear what he has to say.
U.S. Cuban officials discuss mysterious alleged sonic attacks. Now that is a secret squirrel story right there.
Yeah, actually, we discussed it kind of the other day, and the one that happened in China, they are pretty darn sure that was actually a microwave pulses that were causing these injuries for these people. For our
oh, this sounds do 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 do. U.S. and Cuban officials met in Washington, D.C. on Thursday to discuss the medical issues American diplomats experienced at the embassy in Havana. Department of State spokesperson Heather Duarte said in a press briefing. Some officials from the Cuban government are here at the State Department today. There's a briefing taking place between some of our colleagues from our various bureaus that are involved in this very issue, Duarte said on Thursday. They're having meetings with the Cuban government to discuss the medical issues that our people have experienced. So that kind of, it's cool. It's cool in the sense that it's like secret spy stuff. Girls like to investigate that stuff, but it's not cool in the sense that got some innocent.
Causes a lot of problems.
Yeah. Yeah, secret spy stuff is mostly only fun when it's just in your imagination. It starts to be real, then it's not as fun.
Yeah, they've got different weapons and stuff like that. And I was just reading through them, and it's just like, wow, it's just terrible at what some of them do.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost to the point of brain popping stuff.
I like playing secret squirrels, but I wouldn't actually want to be one. It's a different thing. They miss the point. They've lost the fun. They start to take it real. When they make it real, then it's just not.
Right.
I wouldn't want to have to gather my nuts. I mean, as a squirrel, I mean. Okay, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm just reading. It says, in April, Canada said it would remove the families of diplomats posted at its embassy in Cuba due to concerns about a new type of brain injury. That's a brain injury. Serious thing.
That's brain popping. Yeah,
it's like popping your brain like a zit.
That's right.
You see all the juices squirting out?
Oh, that just thank you.
Yeah, they're probably they're probably testing that 5G. That's why President Trump is against that, because they already know.
Well, 5G, they found that 5G's got a lot of issues with causing brain cancer.
It does.
That's a feature, not a flaw.
Well, it is a feature. It may be a feature if you have a brain, but no.
Well, that's kind of what the point is of the 5G, isn't it? I mean, that's why
your brain.
They want to kill us. Okay.
Then Google will be happy.
Or for this Covfefe.
Yes.
You guys are going to try a FOMO, right? Hot cocoa mix in your coffee, double, to get the dense short shots on your Keurig machine, whipped cream on top. It's nummy. Try it. I'm telling you. Okay.
And we'll be right back with our sponsor.
Keurig. For the secret squirrel in all of this. Okay.
Right.
I want to have that on a t-shirt. Can we make t-shirts with Keurig, secret squirrel, like getting like his eyes buzzing out,
Like Scrat?
Oh, yeah, like, what was it? Ice Age guy,
Ice
right?
Age, yes, exactly. Scrat.
Nikki Haley's view of New York is priceless. Her curtains, $1,000. The New York Times story. If people are rich, I don't care how they spend their money, as long as it's legal and not hurting people.
Well, I figure they've got the right to spend their money any way they want. They're the ones that earned it. Yeah.
U.S. House panel backs bill to make Trump tax cuts permanent. Probably a good one. Voice of America or Reuters? So I guess the Voice of America. Got a picture of the president signing it. Huge signature. Look at the size of that signature. It's like 3 inches on the paper. I mean,
It's
3 inches tall.
huge.
3 inches tall. Like, how many wide? But
It's huge.
huge. Bigly. Washington. A
Yes.
Republican-led panel in the U.S. House of Representatives voted Thursday to make the individual tax cuts from President Donald Trump's 2017 tax overhaul permanent. A move seen by some as they bid to help GOP candidates in the November 6th congressional election. Members of the tax writing House Ways and Means Committee voted 21 to 15 along party lines to send the measure to the House floor for a full chamber vote expected by October 1st. But the tax cuts are likely to be dead on arrival in the Senate, where they would need a Democratic support to pass. Wonder if we have any red state Democrats in there that are wanting to keep the jobs.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think with this political environment, they're kind of caught in a corner.
Yeah.
It's catch-22 for them.
Well, they're forced to make a decision. Are you going with the MAGA, or are you going to get fired? Choice.
Right.
Lead, follow, or get out of the way.
Yep. Yeah. The tax overall has helped to boost the economy, you think. You see that graphic the other day? It was like night and day. When Trump came in, it was like all
Yeah.
that. It was like a 30-degree negative slope going down. You know, the economy's going down, and then all of a sudden it's like a 60-degree slope going up. It's almost like a 90-degree angle between as it went down, and then it started to return and rebounded back up again. It's coming up faster than it went down before.
Mhm.
So
That's all Obama.
Yeah, right. Obama's taking credit for that one. First he said it's not possible. Then he said, "Well,
Yeah.
it's my fault.
I did it.
I did it." Yeah.
Oh, I know. Can we use his phrase back on him? You didn't build that.
That's right. Karma's a bitch, baby.
Exactly.
Okay. Hello Fresh. That's Florence's reign. We will get to that. Federal Reserve claims victory over U.S. unemployment as policy debate intensifies.
What exactly?
Well, we'll look at the bright part, see if we can get something close to the truth. Jobless claims unexpectedly fall to 40-year low. Unexpectedly, like from out of nowhere.
Duh.
It's been nearly half a century since layoffs were this low. Initial claims for the state unemployment benefits, a proxy for layoffs, fell by 1,000 to 204,000 in the week ended September 9. Labor Department said Thursday. Economists had expected claims to rise to 210,000. So instead of rising to 210,000, it fell.
Oh, see, there's Trump. He's always losing. Jeez.
Yeah. Come on, Trump. Get with it.
Yeah.
And he's putting those poor people out of work. You know, the ones at the unemployment office.
Right.
Speaking of which, I know this isn't on our spider, but it looks like Breitbart just posted a video of Google executives admitting to importing 10,000 plus foreign workers to take U.S. jobs.
You got a link for that?
Really?
Where's
Oh,
that
yes.
link? Give me that link.
I saw it and I thought, ooh, this is interesting.
Come on, Missy. Links or it didn't happen.
There you go. There you go. It's in broadcasting.
And even with a link doesn't mean it necessarily happened.
All right.
It's interesting to listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, it does. It's in the news section part of it.
Yep. So yeah, Google's got a lot of things leaking. I'm waiting for the rest of that stuff to come out.
Oh,
What else?
it's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you right now. You know, we've been dealing with hidden moles, I guess you could say, from the Obama administration in the government.
Oh yeah.
I have a feeling there are conservative moles. There has to be. There's no way one of these companies like Google could be 100% liberal.
Well, how are you going to explain Hannity on Fox? See,
what do you mean?
Hannity is a mole, a good guy mole, in their mainstream press.
Well, Fox has always leaned.
They're controlled opposition, though. Hannity's like a legit Republican. He's a legit conservative.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Tucker too, I think, is that way too. And
yeah.
So between Hannity and Tucker, Fox is having a hard time kind of reining them in, because they're telling too much truth, and Fox doesn't like it because Fox is controlled by Murdoch and all. They're part of the deep state too. So they don't like that they got Hannity and Tucker on there because people like them too much and they're saying too much truth about it. Meanwhile, Google
does a really good job.
Everybody uses Google for a search engine, so they got this power to manipulate people's opinions. So stop using Google, start using DuckDuckGo.
Right. Well,
that's only part of it. Plus, Google owns YouTube. Right now we're talking. We're talking. We're on a YouTube. Google
on
platform.
A Google platform, yeah. Well,
Probably
also it says here, Naughton tells a room full of Google employees who are quote unquote Googlers by the company. First and foremost is immigration. We have nearly 10,000 Googlers in the United States on visas. Understandably, those of you who are working here and have families here or are in the process of renewing or getting visas are probably very concerned.
Well, the good thing is that Google, even though it was started by DARPA, a good capitalistic system, we can replace that. We can make it better. We have the technology. Okay,
go on, $6 million man.
We can fix Google.
No.
Naughton then explains how President Obama's administration readily allowed and invited Google and other tech corporations to import foreign workers instead of hiring American
Google,
citizens.
That somebody's working on. Can you go into it?
You're roboting.
You're big time. Glad that wasn't me.
Okay, so let's go on. Wait, I guess I did. How is this? What does this story have to do with the Federal Reserve anyway? Is that the ones?
That's what I was asking.
Well, no, I just thought it was interesting with Google. Sorry, maybe it is unrelated. I'm tired, guys. Sorry.
No, even the original story. The original story. I don't understand what it's got to do with the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, you had a breaking news story, Jackson. That was great. Yeah. He's talking about the story he was into before you broke in, and sorry. I agree. I don't know. That's all right. You don't apologize all the time.
Yeah, only when you're guilty, and only when you get caught. So, Spain to exhume Franco from monument he had built. The Valley of the Fallen near Madrid was built by the Spanish dictator Francisco Franco. Honor those who fell for God in Spain. Why are they exhuming him? Do we want to look at that?
I guess. Why would you want to exhume him?
Yeah, that's the question. Clickbait. Yeah, they want us to know, why are you exhuming a dead guy? What is the point of this? So if we want to know why...
Wasn't he a fascist leader that they killed in World War II?
Why would they want to exhume him? I don't know. That's a clickbait. We're tempted, but we're not going to do it. Henry Cavill's Superman wasn't beyond saving, and DC could have learned lessons from the ... the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who cares? The late innings game. Hedge fund billionaire David Tepper says he's dumped some stocks and warns of a bear market. Appaloosa management. See, when you start seeing people that have a lot of pull in the stock market, they're starting to do this and that. That might be worth noting, but I don't know enough about economics to really stand it. Hockney painting expected to break auctions records. One of David Hockney's famous pool paintings is coming to auction, is expected to sell in the $80 million range.
I could paint my pool. Jeez, if it's going to bring that kind of money.
Yeah.
Fluffy Bunny's asking, what is Spider?
Spider.
I put a link in the chat. So,
Yeah, the spiders. It's an AI thing that goes out there and takes the RSS feeds from all the big news outlets and basically sifts them into categories so that you can see which sources are discussing which topics. Easier way to sift through the news. Thing is, it only. I mean, what it really reveals is what kind of propaganda they want us to believe. Yeah, right. So it's mainly a way to understand what they want us to believe, not necessarily telling us the truth about anything. It's just a way to kind of wrangle mainstream media, like just looking at what the mainstream media is pushing. So we started at the bottom today because I figured stuff that they don't really want out is stuff slipping through the cracks or whatever. That's going to be the stuff that should lead, and then we can end up with the propaganda, the main stuff they're pushing. Although this is an exception, perhaps, with this, what do you call it? Yeah, the Florence, because there's 136 people, 136 sources talking about that, and that's a real thing. Although probably induced by weather modification technology or squirrel angle. Believe in weather modification, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do. We have to wonder if that hurricane last year was modified. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, just the first year Trump's in, the first summer that Trump's in, and how many hit?
It was one right after another, wasn't it?
Exactly.
It was. It was one right after another.
Houston, and then Puerto Rico, and then Florida.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're saying I'm looking on Drudge, and they're saying that they've got some interesting things. They're predicting about 10 trillion gallons will fall in North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, right. And they're saying that the animals at the aquariums are going to ride out the storms alone. So, it's some interesting stuff.
That's what really sucks about all this. You get humans and their drama and all these humans that are fighting amongst each other. And then the poor animals, they get kind of caught in the crossfire.
Right.
I feel sorry for the animals that,
that they have no way of defending themselves or protecting themselves.
Yeah, like those fires probably started by directed energy weapons or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that there is one farmer, I believe it was down in that opened up their farm for people with, cattle or horses or whatever, that they could bring them there. They had plenty of, acreage and stalls and stuff for whatever animals that were brought in to get them away from the storms that were coming. That was a couple of days ago.
Oh, that happened in Houston too. When the Houston.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, there was a farm that was just out of it.
Yep. And one of the shelters that had a bunch of well, good Lord. Anyway, so pets that needed to be adopted, someone, I guess, bought them all and had them flown up to their state, wherever they lived at, so that the animals at the shelter would basically die in case the storms hit.
Well, yeah.
Well, it just updated. Drudge just updated, and it's saying that even rescuers can't stay. So I guess it's really bad. So.
And utilities and stuff, they're already staged.
Yeah.
For the aftermath.
I've got a friend that lives down there, and she's a nurse in Charlotte, and she was saying that on her way to work this morning, all the hotel parking lots, Charlotte, are full of like ComEd guys and such, linemen.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I guess what we want to do is tell all the people that are in the path of Florence that, you're in our prayers, and we're sending the best wishes and best luck that this will slow down and not cause as much damage as they're predicting.
Yeah, it's time to go on vacation, people. Go find some relatives, like more inland.
In Iowa.
Yeah.
Well,
There you go.
I don't know if I want you to stay at my house. It's a kind of a small, cramped space as it is. But, sure you got relatives somewhere, right? Or at least get a Motel 6.
In Iowa.
Well, I
In the
have a
cornfield.
problem. I have a problem with people who live in nice places like that, and then when a storm comes, they want to come to my house for protection when I'm not allowed to go to their house when it's nice and sunny.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, that would be fair.
Wow.
You could use my house during storm season if I get to go there for vacation. How about that?
Exactly. And my
You've got
fishing
some-
gear
Write up an MOA.
and my fishing gear gets to stay in your living room while
Well,
I go.
this is good
Disneyland.
capitalism. Free market. Come on.
Exactly.
The free market solution to this problem.
So Jax, you're telling me you have friends that say you can't come and visit? Is that
I
what
have
you're
a
telling
daughter. I have a daughter.
But she abandoned you. She's just, she's just one of those ungrateful people.
I know she
running
is.
off and with some boy.
I work all those months trying to bake a child, and this is the thanks I get.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some Air Force kid at that.
Oh, I know,
yeah.
right?
Like the sands through the hourglass.
Air Force kid. Come on. A little taste.
These are the days of our lives.
Thank you, Bandit. It makes me feel better.
Okay.
Have a piece of Reese's Pieces.
Jax needs a pat on the head and a scratch under the chin. Poor Jax. Oh, ungrateful
I
kids.
was told I had to stay in a hotel. Can you believe that?
Well, that might actually be a good idea if she's got a new boyfriend down there. Be best not to.
I sometimes feel better in a hotel than in some relatives' houses. I just would feel more comfortable sometimes.
I had to have him in my house for several weeks. Excuse me. I just
but-
want payback from all of my groceries. That's all I'm
Oh,
asking.
you just want to mooch on them for a while. Right?
Oh, I see.
There you go.
What's the
Yeah.
point of having minions anyway? So you can't take
Exactly.
advantage of them.
Exactly. And if
Well,
I
they
bring
are-
friends, I don't want to hear about it. I'm just saying.
They are built-in dishwashers and lawnmowers. I mean, until they hit a certain age.
I know. And that was my built-in dishwasher and lawnmower, and my lawn looks like crap now.
And I'm eating on paper plates.
Actually, yes, I am. Well, napkins. The paper plates.
ran out of paper plates. Now
Yeah,
we're
we
on to the
ran out
napkins.
of paper plates last week.
I
Because
eat
the
off
other
of a
minions have to take you to
Frisbee.
Costco.
Yeah, well, and they don't have much in the way of paper plates at Costco that I like. So, yeah.
Where you go for the fancy plates? Fancy paper plates?
Yes, I have to have the nice Dixie little with the flowers on it.
Champagne in your plastic cup? Is that what they
Yeah, I need the plastic champagne cups. And
No,
and
just get a big straw.
And
that's
put it
a
in the
good
bottle.
idea.
Yeah, like the
So-
ones they use for Slurpees and stuff. Just put a big
Yeah.
straw in there. Get you a nice bottle of German wine, and you don't have to worry
Well,
about
see,
messing up any cup.
But I don't drink, so I have to have the non-alcoholic stuff. So,
They had that.
See, now,
but
see,
they were out when I went today because I looked.
I'm a
I
good
felt
white
it.
trash American myself. No,
They were out of Reese's Pieces and
I know,
non-alcoholic.
I know. That's what I was looking for as my comfort food.
I'm in those
Didn't you,
flyover states, and
Give you
then
some.
it's a good thing to do. Is have your champagne bottles out of a paper bag. Works.
Yeah.
Mad Dog 2020 is not champagne.
Don't ruin my
Just-
fantasies,
just-
man. Don't ruin them.
I'm just saying.
Oh
Wait a
my
minute.
gosh.
What
What were
wait a
we
minute,
talking
what-
about?
hold on. What was the $3 wine bottles that were called like Stickleberry Pink?
Duck.
And
Cold duck. or
Cold
something like
duck.
no.
That's the fancy
Boone's-
stuff.
Ripple.
Boone's
Boone's Farm.
Farm.
There you go. Boone's Farm
There
is
you
pretty
go.
tasty.
That's back in the 70s.
Oh no. We had it in the 80s too.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well, I meant back in the 70s, it was around.
That was before it got
We
big.
had it in the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, then it went up to $3.50 a bottle.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had
that's
they had the screw on
expensive.
tops and everything.
Yes, they did.
Big
my
time.
gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
you
they would
boys must have
fit-
been a riot.
And they would fit on your radio knobs on your car and your stereo. Anyway.
I had the Pioneer. Yeah.
Oh, well, la-di-da. Okay.
La-di-da.
Yeah, see, I just had the stereo that came with my Chevy station wagon that my dad made me drive that was called the Ghetto Cruiser.
Oh,
So-
how
Excellent.
funny.
Yeah.
So kind of like Vacation, huh?
Oh, you bet. It looked just like the Truckster, only red. And there was kids scribbles all over it. It was great.
Did you ever scribble in it? Did you find
No,
any of
I'm
your
the oldest
graffiti?
I'm the oldest of 6 kids.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, my youngest sibling is 12 years younger than me.
Okay.
And he got all of the naughty genes in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one that terrorized Sunday school teachers. School teachers.
Sounds terribly naughty.
Oh, if you only
I love
knew.
you.
By the time she got to number 6, it's like, okay, you can just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
We're
pretty
good.
much that's what it was.
Yeah.
My dad would have to go to the police station and pick him up. Try not to snicker because he was throwing baloney at people at bus stops. You know.
Yeah.
Daily Beast article. It's got to be good. You know it's good. It's a Daily Beast article because they tell the truth. Let's look at the we look at this Daily Beast. This is, and you know which beast they're talking about too, right? Daily Beast. Yeah. Harrison Ford takes aim at climate change tonight. Stop electing leaders who don't believe in science.
Oh boy, I used to like him.
Well, they're ruining all of our heroes, all those people from Hollywood. Yep. You know, there's like Trump's in office and they have to reveal their true colors. You know, it's like ruining all these great actors for us.
Yep. Yeah. There are a few.
True.
But
James
you know,
Woods is a good one.
Yeah, James Woods
yes,
is.
He is.
He is.
And
so's oh, come on, what's his face's dad? What's her face's? Come on, Angelina Jolie's dad.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
he
that.
loves Trump. He loves Trump.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, she was on Diamond Silk the other day.
Tool Time.
Tim Taylor.
Lost his show.
Yeah.
What's his real name?
Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen. John Voight.
Yep.
John Voight.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's some out there that are really great. Yep. Thanks, Fluffy Bunny.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah, so there's a few out there that are still our heroes. I just wonder what John Wayne would say today if he saw this. He must be spinning.
Oh, Lord.
Or Charlton Heston.
Oh, yeah.
He's NRA too, right? He was the
president,
the celebrity spokesperson for the NRA.
Didn't he play Moses in one of those movies?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. The celebrity spokesperson for the NRA now, I believe, is Tom Selleck.
So, oh yeah, he's a good conservative.
Yeah.
What's that one guy? Charles in Charge guy.
Scott Baio.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very conservative. I admire him too. I would actually like to see Scott Baio in some other shows because I really enjoyed his acting. I never had a crush or anything on him, but I really enjoyed the characters he played.
You wouldn't have to deny that. People wouldn't assume that. But since you are denying it.
No, I enjoyed Joni and Chachi.
Does that mean all the other girls of that generation, they all had crushes on Scott Baio?
No, I'm not going to tell you who my crush was at that time because you'll just say, "Oh, he's skinny."
I know who
Fluffy
that
Bunny
you're
says
talking about that
Scott
British
Baio was
guy.
on Life, Liberty, and Levin on Sunday.
Huh?
Fluffy Bunny says that Scott Baio was on Life, Liberty, and Levin on Sunday.
Oh, really? I really enjoy him.
So once all the deep state goes down and Hollywood's shambles, does that mean you get Mel Gibson back in the game?
Yes.
Yes?
I like.
What the
Yes,
heck
please.
was that?
Possibly.
I guess we found our current crush.
No, he's too short.
That's what you take away
so
from that?
Mel Gibson calls you up and say, "Hey, let's go on a date," and you say, "Nah, you're too short. Sorry."
Sorry, you're too short. I can't wear heels with you. I can't even wear sneakers with you. I'm going to tower over you by 2 inches. So, yeah.
So, Jax, how tall are you? Is that too personal?
I am 5'8.5".
Okay,
Oh,
my
wow.
daughter who just turned 15 is 5'10".
Wow.
And
I'm the
she
shortest
doesn't
in
want
my
to.
family.
Oh wow! Well,
You're the
she doesn't
shortest?
want to get any taller because she won't be able to find a boyfriend.
It's very hard finding a date when you're tall. It's like, okay, anything over 5'10", we can deal with that.
Oh, that was my problem all those years.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wouldn't. 5'10", anything over, we can do that. But when I have to go to a dance and the guy's 5'5" and I'm 5'8.5", yeah, that doesn't work. And that's about most of the boys I grew up with. Almost every single one of them. I don't think any one of them were taller than 5'8".
Hey, we got a FEMA story here. FEMA head denies intentionally misusing federal vehicles.
Well, aren't we going to be sent there? The FEMA Camp 6? All
Yeah.
people can send their
we would have
Not
if
if
Hillary
packages
would have been
correctly.
elected, then we would all be in the FEMA camps in the basement under the Walmart.
Exactly.
So
where they're hoarding all the food and stuff at.
So Washington, the head of government's disaster relief agency, said Thursday he never intentionally misused federal vehicles, following a report he was under investigation by the Homeland Security Department's watchdog. Brock Long discussed the investigation, first reported by Politico at a briefing on Hurricane Florence, saying he would cooperate and own up to any mistakes. Doing something unethical is not part of my DNA, and it's not part of my track record in my whole entire career, said Long, who leads the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Long said the Inspector General was looking into vehicle usage, but he didn't confirm that the review concerned his use of an official vehicle. Politico reported Long was under investigation for possibly misusing government resources, personnel on weekend trips home to Hickory, North Carolina. Tyler Houston, a spokesman for Homeland Security, FEMA's parent agency, referred questions to the Inspector General's office, which didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Bolton said in a statement that Homeland Security is fully focused on preparing for, responding to, and recovering from Hurricane Florence and the storms in the Pacific. He said Secretary Kirsten Nielsen is confident in the leadership at FEMA and the proven disaster management ability. Other Trump administration officials have been investigated for ethics issues related to travel. Former head of Environmental Protection Agency, Scott Pruitt, resigned in July after allegations of outsized security spending, first-class flights, and a sweetheart condo lease. Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin was fired in March amid questionable travel charges, growing rebellion in his agency about the privatization of medical care. Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price was fired last year after it was disclosed he took costly charter flights instead of commercial planes. Long, who took over last year shortly before Hurricane Harvey struck, said he didn't want the investigation to detract from preparations for a major storm was heading for the U.S. Said he was 100% focused on Florence, which was barreling towards the Carolina coast. There you go. For some reason, there must be some kind of legality thing here where Trump has to have these guys in office in order to bring the full extent of the law down on them after them. I think he's got a few bad actors on his team. Seems like he probably knows. So,
Yeah.
so he's there's some kind of strategy involved there that would indicate that the law is written in such a way they have to for him to nail them or something.
No idea.
And we need some legal scholars in here.
And I am not one of those.
And
What was the legal question again? Sorry, I was answering a comment.
are you a legal scholar?
Oh.
A little bit.
A little bit.
I've had some business law classes. Throw it at me.
He's the jacks of all trade.
Yes.
So the idea is like, why is it that the president would like knowingly have bad actors staff? You know, is it the case that like in order to punish them, they have to be like have official appointments currently?
I think that's probably part of it, but I think it's also a cover so that they know that, you know, it's like when you're in a corporation and you know you've got this guy that's not working. He shows up to work late, but you have to keep him on just to show that you've got some humanity. But I think it's also to let other people relax and let their guard down.
So there's a couple different things you're talking about there. So on the one hand, you want the bad guys to think that they still have power.
Right.
So it's like it gives them false confidence. And on the other hand, maybe it gives you opportunity to gather further evidence in order to bring that to the case.
Right. That's what I would do. If I was in his shoes, that's what I would do it for.
If you were a 4D chess player yourself.
Yeah. Like some leakers, they would only give a certain,
right.
A certain type of information to see what they would leak. That way they know who was leaking.
Right.
And in the and a lot of times whenever you have federal employees like that, you can't just go in and fire them per se without
you have to have documentation.
Exactly. So
documentation of the lawsuit.
Yeah, like a 3-step process. First you have to prove that that they knew that this was wrong, kind of sort of it. And then that would go back to like their in processing, and that would be documented. And then the next time that they break, your rules or the policies and procedures is what we used to, of course, had to follow. Then that's documented, and you have a procedure. So sometimes it could take 6 months to actually get rid of someone, unless it was something really completely illegal, like stealing or something to that effect.
Right.
But
I've seen it take as long as a year or two.
Yeah, it can.
Because you have to dot your I's, you have to cross your T's.
Yeah, especially if there's multiple issues.
Right, because most people are so litigious, especially on employment.
Well, there's a $2 word.
Really? What was that word?
Litigious.
Litigious? Yes.
Explain that to me, please.
Sue happy.
Oh.
Exactly.
They're sue happy.
Yeah.
They're some people go, I've known people who they take jobs and they deliberately try and get fired because they actually get more money from the lawsuit afterwards than they do with working.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Kind of like scam artists that fall on ice or wet floors.
Right. Or they park their car screwy in the parking lot so they can get, Yeah. Yeah. And they do
Takes
that.
all kinds.
So, are we back to the Norse map?
I was just looking at it. If it's frozen on me, not sure why it's.
You want me to look?
I'm just going to restart.
You've grown on me, Brain.
What do you mean? My mold?
Well, that was frozen on you. You've grown on me. Just saying.
Oh.
Okay.
It looks pretty quiet.
Fluffy Bunny's asking, what is the Norse map? Are you talking about NORAD or?
No. I'll let Jax explain it.
The Norse map is a nice little map that shows you in real time where who's hacking who and what kind of attacks they're using and where they're coming from, who's doing the attack origins versus who's hitting who.
Plus, it's pretty.
It is. it's nice. China is usually one of the worst, but the United States seems to love to attack itself a lot. Microsoft
Yeah.
likes getting DeKalb Junction in New York a lot. And if you don't know who that is, there's a company there, a security company, that they invite people to hack them so that they can learn different security techniques.
Ooh.
And to make your computer more secure. And
That sounds like that competition that they had out in Nevada this every year. I guess they have one out there.
Yeah.
And then the winning team is who they try to contract out that company.
Right.
Yeah,
they've got one in Turkey. I think it's next week that's coming up. And if I had the money, I'd like to go, but it's nice. I use it for when I'm having problems with my websites with people attacking it. Then I can get a basic idea of where it's coming from and who it is, and I can block them.
Well, how is Corsi Nation been safe lately, or are they been kind of?
I don't want to say, because I don't want to have any problems. Yeah,
Okay.
Try and keep it secure. I do the best I can. I'm not saying anything more than that.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Spider again. Is there anything else in here talking about bottled water, watchdog, US UK mass surveillance? This Idlib thing, that's probably something we should. Idlib following. Saying on Syria's Idlib risks scattering terrorists abroad. French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian warned this week in a surprisingly frank statement that a Syrian government offensive on anti-Assad insurgent-held Idlib could scatter thousands of foreign militants abroad, posing a security threat to the West. His comments were made on Tuesday after France previously pledged it would join any potential U.S. coalition strikes on Syria if Assad uses Idlib. So see, you gotta like read between the lines right there. So what's going on is you got ISIS forces and Al Qaeda and Daesh. Because ISIS is Daesh, or I don't know how they say it, but that's like I think that's the Arabic reference to ISIS. But, all the bad guys kind of are congregating in one province, Idlib province in Syria, and they are, probably, and I don't have any specific verification on this, and hopefully this declassified documents will make this stuff known to us in the near future. But it looks to me that CIA is funneling and organizing ISIS forces and the Al Qaeda. I think Bin Laden was originally a CIA asset.
Yes.
So all these bad guys are all basically shoved into a corner, this one last stand for the bad guys, and all the war games going on between China and Russia, they all seem to be focused on Iran and this Idlib province in Syria, because Iran is the last rogue state since we've already taken care of North Korea. So after this, then there's going to be no more holding the world hostage by way of nuclear weapons, and then we can start really going after the bad to get this out of the way, sweep up them.
Yeah, because they can pick up their comms and stuff in that area too, and almost like put a tracker on them, especially if they're geotagging. They can put trackers on them.
Yeah, so this Assad guy is being, they're trying to do these false flags, making it look like Assad is the one that's using chemical weapons on his own people. And
exactly.
Assad is working with Putin to take on the deep state, i.e. ISIS. And they're the only ones that are making real headway against ISIS. And so, of course, the people who are sympathizing with ISIS and the CIA, so we read that as the United Nations, NATO, all those people that are deep state embodied, they want to try to frame Assad. And so they're going to use this false flag thing. I think it was originally planned by MI6 At least that's the rumor. And so, and Trump had come out with that, saying that if there's chemical weapons used, then we're going to smack you down. But I mean, it looks like the whole time they knew that this was a false flag that was set up by I6. And so there's all these spy games going on behind the scenes. Definitely good squirrel material. But so this statement here, the French foreign minister, he's basically explaining that in a manner of speaking. You know, he's kind of beating around the bush a little bit, but you know, a surprisingly frank statement that a Syrian government offensive on anti-Assad insurgent. So see, he's telling you right there that if Syria goes after this Idlib province and getting rid of ISIS, then there could be posing a danger, and that danger being that ISIS is spread everywhere as a result of taking out their home base. So that's what we're watching with the war games, right? You know, that's going on, and that's in celebration of the 9/11. What do you call it? The Patriots' Day proclamation, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was on September 10th that Trump issued that, said that 9/11 will hereon be known as Patriots' Day, and these war games were scheduled starting on 9/11. And that's supposed to, I think that's supposed to be a signal that Putin is working with China, President Xi, China, to take on the deep state. So the United States, China, and Russia are all working together to take out the deep state. That means Rothschilds and the royal family in Great Britain. So this
all the inbred bloodlines.
Yeah. So the family and this go down many rabbit holes thing, but next story: Facebook starts fact-checking photos and videos using AI. If they weren't doing that kind of stuff already.
Yeah, they are. Fluffy Bunny says that she's going to head out for the evening, but she'll be back on after she gets home from work.
Here's that meme with Zuckerberg as Mr. Data Accumulator. He's in the Star Trek uniform. That is Zero Hedge. This is great. Zero Hedge is using memes. Cool. Facebook on Thursday announced the expansion of their fact-checking army to send photos and videos to all of our 27 partners in 17 countries around the world, after using an artificial intelligence which will use various engagement signals, including feedback from people on Facebook, to identify potentially false content. In other words, potentially true content. They want to try to suppress.
But they don't want. Yeah, they don't want people seeing.
They want to try to suppress the truth as much as they can. But that executive order that came out yesterday puts the kibosh on that. So if they're doing that,
they'd already started that.
Well, the thing is, though, I mean, they could still do it. They're just going to get punished for it later.
Yeah, they were.
So, President Kim eating McDonald's. Look at that.
But it looked like if you were to send something out, say a meme that you something like that said something against Obama or just showed facts or see, then later on you go in and check your Facebook, right? It said, kind of check this already, and you may not want to share this, or you may not want to read. They kind of like at them. It was crazy.
Yeah. What's going to happen once this is all over? Oh, what's going to happen when I don't know, when the deep state's gone? I mean, what's our world going to be like?
Wow.
I've wondered about that, and I've wondered what's going to happen to all these lefties. And I don't know about you, but I don't want them here. Go somewhere else, please. Go to China. You're welcome there.
Go to Venezuela.
Exactly.
Maybe you can teach them how to farm or something, and go to South Africa.
Do an honest day's work. Really?
Yeah, and remember to bring your passport.
Right.
We'll have to pack.
Well, no, they don't need to take their passport. Venezuela will give them a new one.
Yeah. They got to be able to fly out with the passport, though. It could be,
actually, you don't need a passport to fly out. You just have to have it when you enter the country. But if Venezuela is going to welcome them, they can just give them, citizenship when they, they
Right
pass out the
there.
little cards in the plane just before you land.
Yeah, like the duty tax form.
Exactly.
It could be a citizenship form. Yeah,
Exactly.
that sounds good.
Well, this is kind of fantasy talking right now. I mean, in reality,
wouldn't it be nice to...
Yeah, but in reality, once, and I think, I have friends that are Democrats, believe it or not, and I think that once the truth comes out, a lot of them are going to feel like schmucks, and we have to be a little bit compassionate to them, even though they probably don't deserve it. But, let's show a little compassion to the walk away movement, people who are just, tired of living on the plantation. And as this news breaks, we have to bring them over to our side.
I have to admire those people because that takes a lot of courage to the ones that want to walk away. It's the ones that don't get it, that there's Venezuela.
Well, the more information that comes out, the harder it's going to be for them to live inside of that manufactured bubble, that propaganda bubble that's created by the MSM and Hollywood and the university system and all that stuff that, works essentially in Marxist propaganda. So, yeah, we need to have some kind of recovery plan in order for the guys that are getting red-pilled, that are coming over from the Democrat side. We have to find some accommodation for them, and we can't just simply hold a grudge forever. I mean, we have to bring them into the fold, and as we take on the deep state more and more people come over to our side, and we have to develop those long range strategies about replacing Hollywood, replacing so much of our the political system, and our cops, are the religious, the religions, the corruption in the religious institutions. There's so much corruption that has to be fixed, and once we get the mainstream media to start telling the truth, because this is a disinformation campaign that they're doing, and so once the media starts telling the truth about stuff, then those Democrats that have good intentions, they're going to have to admit it to themselves that they've been duped all this time, and it's going to be hard for them to admit that, understandably.
Patriot 3 says he wants proof that you have Democrat friends.
Well, I guess I'd have to first start with proof that I have friends at all. I don't know if I have that. If anybody's willing to admit it.
So, and William Mengi says that he loves all of us.
Oh, look at that.
So, yes.
It's the warm squishies all coming over everywhere.
I know, right?
Oh, the warm squishies.
This is great. So, yeah. Patriots 3 wants proof. Proof or it didn't happen.
Links or it didn't happen.
So, yeah.
I got a couple of other articles I'm going to take a peruse in real quick and see if there's anything worth talking about.
Oh, there is Patriot 3.
Hey, you guys, I come in to get a fix.
Oh,
good. Yes.
Slap that arm, make the vein pop.
Woo-hoo!
Come on, we'll slide it in right there. Come on. Slap that vein. Come on.
Yeah, we're going to need a bigger boot.
Those boots.
More indictments.
Yeah.
So how are you guys doing? I mean, have you guys heard anything else about the good doctor?
Oh, I wish. I think he's out of communications right now, and I'm hoping that he'll get back in touch with us again, at least by Monday.
Right.
I don't know if there's any hope for that or not, but that's what I'm hoping.
He's gone dark.
I read that he refused to go and do it.
Oh, don't believe what you read. Wait until he comes back.
I know.
And so my suspicion on all this is that probably in order for what's his name, Mueller, to ask questions, he had to tell certain things to Dr. Corsi to let him know what's going on. Certain types of, basically just to contextualize the questions that were being asked. He probably had to learn about some things that right now can't be discussed openly because it would kind of ruin the surprise for the bad guys, and so
secret squirrel stuff.
Yeah, this is definitely secret squirrel stuff. It's ours.
Squirrels?
It's
Squirrels?
ours to speculate. You know,
Squirrels?
squirrels. Get the dog. Get the dog. Come on, squirrels.
Yeah.
We're gotta get some revenge on those dogs that have been chasing us forever.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So the my speculation, and this is just speculation, but I'm thinking that at least the more conspiracy theories would say that Mueller is actually secretly working for the good guys. And that all these lefties out there that are supporting Mueller and his investigation of Russia collusion, they've been cheering him on for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And so what happens when it comes out that the results of his investigation are actually proving there was collusion, but it wasn't Trump? What if that collusion is actually Hillary and company?
Right.
If Mueller's in this investigation and he wants to know about the Hillary Russian collusion, it's a whole new story, isn't it? And
Do you think that's what they're talking about when they talk about four-sided chess, or what's that?
Oh, 40
Five.
chess.
I don't even
Yeah.
think this is chess. I think at this point we're playing Go. That Go game where you do pressure on this. It's like a couple different amoebas trying to eat each other.
Right.
It's more like Go. And
I would agree with you. The only problem I have with that is because of Mueller's involvement, he would have a conflict of interest. That's
sense?
just what I've wondered.
how so?
Because he was involved with Uranium One and other things with the Clinton.
And how is he getting all that money on a
Right,
federal government salary?
right,
What is he worth? 18 million?
something like that. It was a lot.
Right.
I would just like to have half of that million. I'd be happy.
Well, how would that? I mean, he that would be the true either way, right? I mean, he should be having a conflict of interest in either case. I mean, no matter which side he's working for, he still have that potential.
Then legally he'd have to recuse himself or face what is it, the poison tree or something like that. I don't know that. I don't know what it would be, but I would think that that would put him either way in legal jeopardy.
Right.
But that's just my opinion.
I mean, it's perfect propaganda. I mean, what's going on with everybody just beating the whole Trump is, Russian collusion. The first time that came out, when they kept saying Russian collusion, they hacked the election, used to irritate me beyond words because the media never clarified that a vote wasn't modified. They just let people run with that, and they repeated it over and over again. And I think it would be brilliant. I mean, the whole idea of, Q, you're hearing Q talking about trust, the plan, trust Sessions. If Sessions is getting Griffin to go and give him a hug, I mean, their liberals are totally, completely into him and they trust him. Wouldn't that be amazing if he's been just laying low this whole time? Because if he arrests people, they're going to really question it rather than think that there's a political.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Q is saying. And from my understanding of it, is that this whole time, this business, I mean, that's basically the drama between Trump and Sessions is a constructed thing, so that the liberals, the liberal media, especially the mainstream media, is pushing the trust Sessions thing. So that's the idea, is to get the media to play their hand already on that issue, and to do it to such a degree that they can't backtrack on it, and say, all of a sudden they're changing their mind when they find out what Sessions is really up to, because if
is what it's called.
She sounded like a Cher single right there.
Sorry. Sorry, I like that. I mean, wife, could you repeat that? Because you broke up.
Had a really bad connection, but the silent executioner is what he used to be called.
Wow.
Well, I guess it's just a matter of time. It's a wait and see, because everything right now is just speculation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but speculation is not something that comes out of nowhere. I mean, it's an art form unto itself. I mean, you can't. It's not just arbitrary thing. I mean, you start with the facts that you know, and you build those facts up, and you try to understand what is a reasonable expectation, what things are possible, what things are not possible, and for those things that are possible, to what degree are they possible? And you can start building a solid forecast, I think, of trying to anticipate things with speculation. But like for example, like we're speculating on this Corsi's hearings or I'm not testimony or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is pure speculation. But so what it is that we do know is that he cannot talk to us right now, and so there's a question, right? Why would he be restricted from talking to us? What's the point of that?
Unless there's a gag order or something.
Well, there's some kind of strategy being employed right now that has to be protected, because I think, as far as I can tell, this is a temporary sort of gag order. It's not like a permanent thing. It's just right now he can't reveal anything. So it must be that there's something coming out this week that once that information is widely known, then he'll be free to talk about it. See, but he's protecting a secret.
Or the first of next week, hopefully.
Or something, yeah.
Something soon. Yeah.
Right. So it's a temporary sort of thing that he can't talk to us, but he will eventually be able to talk to us. So that means that it must be built into these strategies, these psyops stuff, that are going on. And both sides, the good guys and the bad guys, are engaged in psyops. Psychological warfare is both the good guys and the bad guys playing this. It's just, and the people's opinions. And basically, they're in a fight for the hearts and minds of the American people, and that's those psyops go in both directions. You can manipulate people's hearts and minds for good or bad. Just, the underlying technology there is that the same, and there's military operations. There's military specialists that are trained to engage in psyops. Doesn't mean that they're deceiving you in the sense that we're going to try to take you under our power, and, like the deep state is using this technology to turn us into slaves, but the white hats, hopefully, are using the same technology to free us, even despite ourselves, because they have the mainstream media that's lying to us so much. They have to basically fool the masses into coming back around to sanity, because it's such a cult-like thing that the mainstream media is pushing. We have to trick everybody into coming back into their own common sense,
I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen people that don't have the ability to be logical at all anymore. A couple weeks ago, I was asking somebody about the Space Force logos, a friend of mine, and I said, "What do you think of those Space Force?" And he dropped the F Trump right away it was just this emotional outburst. And I thought, wow, you can't even have a conversation in regards to the president anymore with some people. They just lose their minds.
They're just psychotic.
Yeah,
Trump derangement syndrome is real.
They've been beaten over the head for 2 years. This guy's a jerk. This guy's a jerk. That Google video where people are crying, the bias was pretty evident to me with the media. The media died the day that Trump won the election, because you're seeing people sitting there and announcing the results, crying. And at that point, I knew that it was all over. This is just, and I can't believe people don't see the bias.
They're thinking, we're screwed.
Right.
Part of the big plan. My understanding was the military-industrial complex, a lot of the old generals and stuff like that, they actually were helping to back Trump because they knew what the plan was.
That's what Pachenik was saying in August of that year.
Yeah.
For the take, they understood exactly where it was going. It went quick too. This came on really hard since 2015, just in an expeditious manner. It's not, they're not hiding it anymore. It's out there, and it's like they're still going on with their plan. So the
and I think that's what's the scariest thing, is that it hasn't deterred them at all.
Exactly.
If anything, I think it's accelerated their plan.
They got more aggressive. Yeah, they got more aggressive, and just in the last 90 days, they've got more aggressive.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the Trump derangement syndrome is just more and more evident all the time, and it's a sad comment.
Shoot yourself in the arm.
Yeah, that professor who shot himself in the arm, for example. Really?
You missed by about 8 inches.
Yeah. What? When did that happen?
When was that?
That actually happened at the end of August. just
Who's that? Is that the band?
Nevada. No, this is Bandit.
Hi, Bandit. You're breaking up a little bit. I couldn't tell.
Okay. Well, on today's Corsi show, we talked about it, and he was Nevada, out in Nevada. He was a professor.
College of Southern Nevada.
There you go. And he walked into class with a loaded gun, went into the bathroom, taped a $100 bill on the mirror because he knew it was going to be a mess when he was done. So he wanted to tip the janitor, taped a $100 bill of the mirror, shot himself through the forearm in protest of President Donald Trump, walked out of the bathroom, passed out on the floor.
Wow. That's tragic.
Yep. That's nuts.
There's something really mean I want to say, but I'm not going to say about his aim.
We already talked about it.
Yeah.
We already talked about it.
Who's this character, Dr. DC Hammer, by the way?
He's a good guy.
Well,
He's a
we'll
deep
tell
squirrel.
you.
Deep squirrel.
Yeah,
Get a little angle there, huh?
Yeah, we'll let you know.
He's a
Oh.
he's a real operator, you know.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
Brain, can I ask you a question?
No.
Okay. What do you? I mean, are you still listening to anybody decoding Q?
Do I what?
Do you listen to anybody that's decoding Q still?
Not so much. I do pay attention to the QAnon posts, you know, whatever. I don't go in nearly as deeply as I used to, but I still pay attention. And I think it's fascinating, the stuff that's, and I think it's a good idea to be aware of what Q's doing, whether you believe it or not, because the mainstream media is very off-put by Q, the QAnon crowd or whatever. And so just that much in itself makes it worth looking at, because because it's really, Q is angering all the right people. That's basically the reason I wanted Trump to come into office. He's angering all the right people. So, I think that in itself is a vote in the right direction.
Is it true that he called the McCain death by like
a month?
Missed it by a minute or something like that? Is that true? Had you heard? As far
as I know, yeah, that's and that was indication that it's on the death certificate that when McCain was declared dead, that was on the death certificate the same minute as what Q had predicted a month before.
Wow.
So and that basically is indication that it was not a natural death.
Right.
So most likely it was an execution. That's basically.
You think it was an execution or assisted suicide?
Well, it was an execution by assisted suicide. Basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, was he executed? That's the thing that it mind-boggling about that one, because then they go through. You say executed, which it's not to me an assisted suicide if somebody was sick and needed to be put to death. I get that, but an execution means that he did something wrong and he was paying for a crime.
Well, just as you said, I don't pay attention to the Q crew nearly as much as I used to, and my impression of it is that this was some kind of deal that McCain made, that he would choose this assisted suicide out so that and in trade for his legacy being protected. So he didn't want anybody to find out just how much of a corrupt jerk he was, and so he made this deal. I'll just kill myself now, and then you just protect my legacy, my name. And that's why they call him No Name.
Right. Did you guys catch Lindsey Graham's questioning of I'm forgetting his name right now. The new
Kavanaugh.
Yeah. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Boy, that was a heavy line of questioning, wasn't it?
Right. So that's the idea there, being that because he was asking Kavanaugh to basically describe for the people the case in which you lose your civil rights, and that's when you are being tried as a war criminal. That you are working in cahoots with foreign terrorists and stuff like that. That's, you lose your civil rights at that point. And I think the point being there is that anybody who is tied to terrorist organizations or foreign actors can be tried in military tribunals, and that means that it's going to be a fast trial, and it's going to be potentially have, it could potentially carry the death penalty by hanging. Right. So some of these guys, like President Obama or Hillary, or who knows, McCabe, all those guys are potentially going to get fast trials in a military court and get hung. That's why they're so desperate, is that they can really die from this. They're literally fighting for their lives.
It was almost like he was prepping the people in the room to be ready.
Yes.
Not just in the room. Obviously, all the cameras are on there, so he's given this big clue to the general public too.
Yeah, get ready.
Exactly. He brought it to the attention because so many people have totally forgot
that's a potential thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
And putting it into the context of Kavanaugh means not only is it possible, but this is why Kavanaugh is so important. Is that we're bringing Kavanaugh in here in order to oversee this. This
that
crossover.
Puts into context. That also puts into context not only Obama and Hillary and those that are scared, but even Feinstein and stuff like that. They really do have. That's why they're willing to manufacture documents, and this is something I think we got to keep in mind while we're watching these confirmation hearings. Is these people really are fighting for their lives, and it's about time.
And I think it's
about time.
I think it's time that we watch a video. I have a video prepped up here. I'm hoping you guys are interested in listening to the video. So if you do have your YouTube thing open to watch this, because I'm going to do a video of Trump's inauguration. See what he's got to say.
That one, and then also the one before he was actually elected. But it was one of his for one of the rallies. I don't remember which one. Man, it was just amazing. But so many of these.
Chief Justice Roberts, President Carter, President Clinton, President Bush, President Obama, fellow Americans, and people of the world, thank you. We, the citizens of America, are now joined in a great national effort to rebuild our country and restore its promise for all of our people. Together, we will determine the course of America and the world for many, many years to come.
He's laying it all out here for us.
We will face challenges. We will confront hardships. But we will get the job done. Every 4 years, we gather on these steps, carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. And we are grateful to President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama for their gracious aid throughout this transition. They have been magnificent. Thank you.
That's Traitor-in-Chief right there.
This ceremony, however, has very special meaning. Because today, they're not merely transferring power from one administration to another, or from one party to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people.
The people. People power, everybody. People power. Woohoo!
Yep.
For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. Politicians prospered, but the jobs left.
Wow, were there people wearing MAGA hats and not getting beat up?
Closed. The establishment protected itself, but not the citizens of our country. Their victories have not been your victories. Their triumphs have not been your triumphs. And while they celebrated in our nation's capital, there was little to celebrate for struggling families all across our land. That all changes starting right here and right now, because this moment is your moment. It belongs to you.
Power to the people, people. People, people, people. No more deep state.
It belongs to everyone gathered here today and everyone watching all across America.
I thought I saw people in that crowd with MAGA hats not getting beat up.
This is your celebration.
I know, right?
And this, the United States of America, is your country. What truly matters is not which.
It's so nice to have somebody in the White House again that has got a winner attitude instead of giving a trophy to everybody for participation.
Well, and it cares about somebody else other than himself.
January 20th,
right,
2017 will be remembered as the day the people became the rulers of this nation again.
Man, from his first speech with his gaffe, I never thought I'd see that day where he would be the president.
Forgotten no longer.
Right?
That gaffe, I laughed out loud. I thought, oh, he's gone.
Everyone is listening to you now. You came by the tens of millions to become part of a historic movement, the likes of which the world has never seen before. At the center of this movement is a crucial conviction that a nation exists to serve its citizens. Americans want great schools for their children, safe neighborhoods for their families, and good jobs for themselves. These are just and reasonable demands of righteous people and a righteous public. But for too many of our citizens, a different reality exists. Mothers and children trapped in poverty in our inner cities, rusted out factories scattered like tombstones across the landscape of our nation, an education system flush with cash, but which leaves our young and beautiful students deprived of all knowledge, and the crime and the gangs and the drugs that have stolen too many lives and robbed our country of so much unrealized potential. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
He's an inspiring speaker when he gets on a roll.
And he is.
And this is...
We are one nation. And their pain
this speech is historic.
Their dreams are our dreams, and their success will be our success. We share one heart, one home, and one glorious destiny. The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans. For many decades, we've enriched foreign industry at the expense of American industry, subsidized the armies of other countries while allowing for the very sad depletion of our military. We've defended other nations' borders while refusing to defend our own. And spent trillions and trillions of dollars overseas, while America's infrastructure has fallen into disrepair and decay. We've made other countries rich, while the wealth, strength, and confidence of our country has dissipated over the horizon. One by one, the factories shuttered and left our shores, with not even a thought about the millions and millions of American workers that were left behind. The wealth of our middle class has been ripped from their homes and then redistributed all across the world. But that is the past.
He's describing the deep state. I mean, it's so clear now in retrospect. You know, we know what's going on in the world now, and it's easier to see what that speech meant. George Bush and Obama are both looking really nervous.
Issuing a new decree to be heard in every city, in every foreign capital, and in every.
They were probably running away from the drain as fast as they could.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
Mega.
Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages
he can
of
be
other
such a
countries,
wealthy businessman and still appeal to the common man.
stealing our companies and destroying
he
our
has always
jobs.
been that way. I've followed him since the 80s. He's an amazing man to begin with.
Protection
they say
will
that
lead
money
to great
corrupts,
prosperity and
and
strength.
I don't know how he's done it.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down. America will start winning again, winning like never before.
I personally think they're going to have to put him on Mount Rushmore.
We will bring back our jobs.
Yes.
We will bring back our borders. We will bring back our wealth. And we will bring back our dreams. We will build new roads and highways and bridges and airports and tunnels and railways all across.
It's like the tough parent that everybody respects but don't like.
We will get our people
versus the last president who was the parent that let
Disneyland dad
with American hands
that let everybody get away with everything
labor.
and let it all go to heck. And yet, people were actually drawing his face in on Mount Rushmore.
We will follow two simple rules.
Giving him the Nobel
American
Peace Prize.
And higher American.
Because he was a popular guy.
We will seek friendship and goodwill with the nations of the world, but we do so with the understanding that it is the right of all nations to put their own interests first. We do not seek to impose
I can't believe
our way
Obama's
of
coming
life
out trying
on
to take credit
anyone,
for the
but rather
I know, right?
to let it shine
for the economy and
as
everything
an example. We will shine
really,
for everyone
he's a
to
narcissist.
follow. We will reinforce old alliances and form new ones and unite the civilized world against radical Islamic terrorism, which we will eradicate completely from the face of the earth. At the bedrock of our politics will be a total allegiance to the United States of America. And through our loyalty to our country, we will rediscover our loyalty to each other. When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. The Bible tells us how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity. We must speak our minds openly, debate our disagreements honestly, but always pursue solidarity. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable. There should be no fear. We are protected, and we will always be protected. We will be protected by the great men and women of our military and law enforcement. And most importantly, we will be protected by God.
almost like he knows something.
Mhm.
Finally, we must think big and dream even bigger. In America, we understand that a nation is only living as long as it is striving. We will no longer accept politicians who are all talk and no action, constantly complaining, but never doing anything about it. The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action.
Hour of action.
Do not allow anyone to tell you that it cannot be done. No challenge can match the heart and fight and spirit of America. We will not fail. Our country will thrive and prosper again. We stand at the birth of a new millennium, ready to unlock the mysteries of space, to free the earth from the miseries of disease, and to harness the energies, industries, and technologies of tomorrow.
Big Pharma and the U.S. Space Force.
Lift our sights and heal our divisions.
That was another thing that used to irritate me, people mocking the Space Force when it's already there. It's already there. It just needs a name.
Black or brown or white, we all bleed the same red blood of patriots. We all enjoy the same glorious freedoms, and we all salute the same great American flag. And whether a child is born in the urban sprawl of Detroit or the windswept plains of Nebraska, they look up at the same night sky. They
if anybody
fill their
doubts
heart
the
with
Space
the same
Force,
dreams,
you can look up
and they are infused with the breath of life
F-37
by the same almighty
which seems like
creator.
It's an outer space drone.
Really?
Really?
So to all Americans in every city, near and far, small and large, from mountain to mountain, from ocean to ocean,
There was a picture
hear these
that the
words.
president took in
You
his
will
office. I
never
think it was
be
the day
ignored again.
He had announced the Space Force, or the day after. It had two gentlemen there with
Your
him.
voice,
One from the
your
sitting
hopes,
at the picture
and
was
your
taken from a
dreams
frontal
will
view.
define
There was
our
a guy
American
on the,
destiny.
a captain, or
And
actually,
your
he's
courage and
probably,
goodness and love will
a
forever
major
guide
by
us
now.
along
He's
the
on
way.
the left-hand side. He's in
Together,
civilian
we will
clothes,
make
and then,
America strong
no,
again.
he wasn't.
We
He was
will
in
make
blues.
America
The one that
wealthy
was on the
again.
right. The
We
guy that
will
was standing
make
on the left,
America
the guy that
proud
was Buck
again.
Carroll.
We
And
will
he,
make
we were stationed with
America
him
safe
overseas,
again.
actually.
And
He was
yes,
on the,
together,
I
we
believe it was
will
11,
make
12
America
deployment.
great
He's a really good
again.
guy.
Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.
Everybody clap. Clap, clap,
Yay.
clap, clap,
Thank you.
clap, clap,
Why are we
clap.
clapping?
God bless America.
Because the speech is over.
Yeah, check out the X-37. I said the F, but it's the X-37 space drone, and God knows what that's doing.
Well, I think we've had our time, our fun,
I think so.
and so
Thanks
we
for
have our
having me.
music going.
Thank you, Brain.
So,
I'm Spartacus.
Spartacus?
Litigious. Litigious Spartacus.
Okay, guys. So that was Secret Squirrels. We are the. I don't know what we are. You guys tell me. What are we exactly? We're the
Amazing.
Beefy. Yeah, we are MAGA, pro MAGA movement. You know, conservatives. You know, we want to bring the voices back to the people. Help empower people to develop their own platforms. Go on to Corsi Nation and go into the forums there if you want to start a conversation about how you can start your own platforms, and we'll try to walk you through whatever you want to do in that regard. But other than that, have a good day.
Thank you.
It's like
Thank you.
we're so much winning and all.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you. We'll see you guys later.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.